right, welcome to the third review of the evening. Up this time is Ultra Goodness 2. The struggle between good and evil continues in this bloody action game where time moves only when you move or shoot. Tear the tear the Satan's forces to pieces, leave oceans of their blood and mountains of demon corpses in the name of goodness. Ultra Goodness 2 is still a fun and bloody action game, but this time it blended with the time manipulation and availability of the permanent companion cat. I'm suspecting some ESL here. So yeah, twin stick shooter, but what if uh, uh super hot?
Kinda.
Well, I mean that's kind of what the premise is going on here about. So we were given the PlayStation version of this. I have to say that because the copy available on the PlayStation Store is PlayStation 4 and 5. So, if you purchase this on the PlayStation Network, you can get either the current gen or last gen versions. But aside from that, Petty, take it away.
This game is not good. This game is very not good. It's a twin stick shooter, like we've mentioned, and oh god, I don't know if there's some sort of acceleration or what on the joystick, but you have no precision. So yeah, that's a problem. Um, your movements are kind of clunky. Your hitbox is about the size of a bus. So, yeah, good luck trying to get around anything. Um, they have these two that are, I guess, supposed to be like super weapons, but I can never get them to work right. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or what, because they don't really explain how to use them. So, that's kind of a pain. And there's everybody's favorite mechanic in these kind of games, grinding for money to be able to afford upgrades.
Oh dear.
Yeah, yeah. The gun I started with was much worse than this, and I hated it.
Shame. I mean, the game looks fun.
Yeah, like if this was on PC, I'd probably have a better time with it. Oh yeah, and
I mean,
randomly enemies can turn into giant demons that have just ungodly fire rates. So good luck.
this game is on PC. It's just we got the Radalaikia published version of this, which meant console only.
Hmm.
As we have mentioned many times, and we will probably mention many times more, Radalaikia occasionally has involvement with games, but they're more known as a porter of various small-time indie projects to consoles. Um, and this is one of them. Like, this game actually came out 2 years ago from Rasul Mano. Not sure if that's the guy's name or his company. Like, but so there is a PC version, but that's not the version we're covering here. So,
Sadly.
uh,
Like, I imagine I'd probably have a better time if I had some actual precision.
hmm. Yeah. I can see where you're coming from there. Anyway, um,
Um,
anything?
I was,
Continue.
I was gonna say, I kind of don't get the time stopping mechanic really in this one. Like, in, Super Hot, I could kind of understand it, but
The entire game is designed around Not time stoppage. The time is actually slowed in super hot. Like, and there is a difference because if you stand still, you won't die immediately, but you will die eventually. You know, it's there's still a element of basing your moves around the passage of time, but
Mm-hmm.
you don't have infinite time to think things through.
I
Yeah.
feel like
And
usually the idea is for you just to be able to stop and think for a little bit.
yeah. And
And
I'm
also
wondering, is
make your
that
movements more fluid, and this does not allow that.
yeah? So do the enemies stop when you stop moving, or they slow down?
Very slow.
Okay, so yeah, that is the essentially the same mechanic, like in terms of on paper, but obviously implementation here is a bit different. Because honestly, I'm not seeing a whole hell of a lot of need for you know time slowing in a twin stick shooter.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Like, I guess you can line up your shot a little better, but just give me better guns.
I mean, I'm presuming that the better guns are locked behind a pseudo paywall.
Yeah, yeah. Um, in the little shop thing here, there is your starter gun. There's one that has a pierce. There's a spread shot, which I have now. There is a double spread shot. Um, ones that explode. What looks like homing. Um,
So you always have pretty much the same shot unless you have the double spread shot one, but your familiar is different weapons?
it
Or
can be, yeah. And I guess the only way I can explain Seven is if you played Halo. What happens when you get a lot of needler shots into somebody where they just explode? There are bullets that set things on fire, and then there is just a head exploding laser, because of course there is. So yeah, there and some of the I guess costs for these are kind of insane because you only get like maybe 1 to 10 I guess gem or money units, but the cost is like 1,000, 1,500, 2 grand. So you're gonna be doing a fair bit of grinding with crappy weapons until you can possibly get something serviceable. So yeah, that's an unfortunate thing. Luckily, death isn't too big of a hindrance. You just go back to the start of the level, though everything respawns. So that's kind of unfortunate because
Yes, yes, it is.
I don't believe I've been any farther than the second level just because the guns are so bad. I can't get a good enough, amount of enemies dead before I start taking too much damage. Because again, my hitbox is the size of a bus, so you're basically forced grinding till you get good guns, which I guess that means they want you to play it for the story, which was so far just like one little cutscene before you get to the main menu. So there's that. Let's see. To clear a level, you have to defeat all enemies, and then a like teleport pad will open up. Um. Oh, I guess there are 50 crystal or gem or whatever and drops from enemies, so though they are rare. And also sometimes they'll just turn into giant demons, so the art style is simple. I think simple is a good way to put it.
Uh-huh. Looks it.
And any other questions?
Music.
Non-memorable.
Guess it's time
I
for
was
the
gonna say,
price.
mm-hmm.
So, console versions, $5. PC is a bit more interesting because, well, the base game is $6, but it's also got DLC in the form of the soundtrack. Bundle 638, or you can get the Ultra Goodness Collector's Edition, which has the first game, the second game, and both soundtracks for $11.96. So, is Ultra Goodness 2 worth $5?
Uh, maybe. I guess it also depends on, platform. Like, I imagine if you had a mouse and keyboard and could have some accuracy, yeah, $5 is great. But since you don't have any sensitivity controls on the console version, probably best to avoid this one.
Okay.
So, anything else?
I think that's about it.
Awesome.
All right, then. So that'll about do it for Ultra Goodness 2. Be sure to tune in after the break, as Twilight will be reviewing Erica, an interactive thriller.